So, well, right now I'm nervous because in two, 3 hours I have this attempt at the Nachbesprechung der Nachbesprechung. So, what I think I improved a lot during those years is that I'm not able to put that in like recording, but it helps me to calm down. So what I can do is like I would like it's a form of meditation. So I can daydream like in a way I was not able to like in 2013. So before the accident, and like in but I kind of was able to do that in my teens. So I was this bored at the gymnasium. It was a similar experience, right? And so I returned to Asheron's call in 2014. So at the gymnasium it was because I couldn't like pay the internet bill, and I was so that was like before ADSL it was like once that the internet bill was like $300. So in the time where I went back from Paris to play Asheron's call, so like that. But it's so like the thing is I always role played more like the kind of the Messiah as well in Asheron's call. So like I mean others. So like it was like in 2013 it was still that was definitely before Legendaries, and it was still that like you just run around and you found so that was completely random. So my so I found a patron like chic, so like you like I was just running around, and like there were still the new players. So like there was, for example, in 2013, for example, De Grama or so one of the like most core players of Underworld Dreams. They were still recruiting, so they were still looking for like potential new talents, right? That changed soon after that. So most of them went inactive, and I guess I was not part of when the game was properly alive. But so like we like Shakespeare was a core get down, and he like wanted to like found his own found his own monarchy. So like yeah, and so then we were like max damage. So we were just 3-4 that decided we will and we never we were never more than 7, so the 7 deadly sins, and like there was not one case where they never left. So all 7, because Shakespeare was this like that such a cool dude from like Sweden, I guess. Yeah, so no one ever left, but it's just like most that played Asheron's Call were in a situation like, well, waiting for disability pension like me, or like war veterans, or like many like found a place, and then there are a couple that really played it professionally, like to pay the rent, right? And so it's just because, but it was not like sometimes they went inactive, and like but so initially we started out like so in Witred, so there you have one of the best experience spots, but that's right at the drop, and that's not something we were managed to like control. But like if you run, I don't remember the coordinates exactly, but like it's quite a run, and there are Lugians that like respawn like very in a very controlled manner, and that was kind of generation project. So Shakespeare taught me how to like it's a safe place to farm experience, which was well already in 2013 kind of pointless. But if you really start fresh, that's quite a challenge to get a character to like level 150, something like that. Well, like so no, it's not possible. But there are so many like memories attached to like when you do the first quest, or then well, Shakespeare still had like items from like 2010. So the area, I think before they introduced ratings, and like there was really the right before Legendaries came out. Max Damage like found one of the best bows. So a max damage bow, and like we didn't know that there would be this patch. So it was 2-3 weeks before the patch was out, and it sold for I don't remember exactly. So like for 8k MMDs. So 8k MMDs at the time were like, well, maybe $40, something like that. And like that's how you start in the like ecosystem. So initially you have to do like trades for a couple MMDs, so salvage, and just to work your way up like Dagobert Duck, right? So that's just GTO for a game, and well, that like there was basically, when I played, there was always like a kind of healthy economy, in the sense that, well, the price for so those trade notes that they didn't like crash. But this was before like cryptocurrency was an idea. so that was working. So yeah. And well, for example, it got rewarded that I was always trustworthy and I never broke promises and I never made empty promises. So there are other, like some role-played like thieves. So they just enjoyed to destroy the like the like so like they gain some trust, and then when it's an like important item, but for the newbie, then they destroy it or something like that, right? And it's well, it's part of the game, like that makes it more like, well, versatile, but some cannot handle that. So and the problem is that, like, unlike with like 13, I, of course, in 2013, I was able to like distinguish that, so reality from the game. But that's why it's like it probably was not good for my development, like without proper English. And you don't learn English by playing Asheron's Call. That's another illusion, right? So yeah, but like it's just I never shared on post count like the memories of that time. It was basically, well, the new area that was so you either took that serious or you went inactive, and so I returned to post count because of this petition. And now I never during those years I never went crazy posting on post count. So I took that real serious for business, and well, you have to build up a reputation there as well. So like in 2015, I was a trusted like trader. So they like the bigger like OG and like party boys, they trusted me for a couple $100. And well, that was so that's like a meme. So there was an like oligarch from Texas, Cas. So that was definitely the biggest like whale. And like if you had and part of Underworld Dreams. So the issue is that the like one of the leaders of Underworld Dreams was then convicted for like I don't know, so more than 10 years in prison for basically trading self-recorded child porn for in-game items. So, and the FBI really like investigated that like through the forum, and I can do the same with like what happened 2016-17. It's not that I wrote about the issues I had with like the psychiatric business and the mental hospital visits, but I remember what happened. So I remember, of course, when I found the high version armor gloves, for example, a rare armor, and well, they like that's that's sold for like 250-300 dollars when I sold the whole account. And because I continued studying in 2015, so that's when I after the 8-month break, but it was more like a year, I had to restart. So that's when I sold the original Morning Lumber account for. It was definitely one of the biggest like trades on post count. So Darktide. So it sold for more than 1,000 euros actually. And well, then I played a lot more casually, but I still enjoyed it. So I didn't stop, even though I had to fully continue with the studies, right? And I quit in 2016. So before the mental hospital visit, I quit, but because of the like back issues and yeah. So then there I I was just but like, for example, there are quests like the Gear Knight crossbow. So with that crossbow you can like earn your own like 70 million XPs an hour at level like 75 or something. And then there are so many like so we had one of the best, definitely the best X-bower in PvP, William Hung. So I like for me it was always similar to Wilhelm Tell. So the like but like he was really like, and he had one of those crossbows like just one off perfect with major swift killer. So at the time I never understood that on my own. It was just like a normal bow, if you buff it, already has speed 0. So swift killer doesn't matter. It will not reduce the speed. But for a crossbow, that's different. And it caps out at major swift killer. And so I really found, and that's just like honor. So I offered, I offered this trade to our. So we then found a home in Judged. So 7 Deadly Sins, we were just part of Judged. And so I offered William Hung this best crossbow on the server, but he didn't need it. Like, he was good enough that it didn't matter that the multiplier was like what is that, like 3% off, so on his version. So that's an item I sold to another whale, Miami Heat, right? And well, I started with bow, but I was then, before we're in the tank, had this add-on that you could macro with like summons. So that's something I was able to do on my own. So like an auto clicker that I was able to like that was just like 5-7 weeks where like I used my own version. And we had a spot which I didn't use, but we had a spot like somewhere in a dungeon where you had to get do a quest. So they had a setup for like 300 million experience an hour, and when when they made it to when they I always assisted so when they wanted to participate in like a tournament for MMDs, I always assisted them and helped with the suits, so the gear, more like recommending what you would, and I always told them I would stay away from not just microtransactions. So I would stay completely away from PayPal. Let me handle that. And of course not. So we had trade more, and again really experienced players, and it's just William Hung left, but in good. We were just we were even compared to Fright Night newbies, right? So it's not and I was even worse at PvP than Barf, and some of them they just didn't have the best gear, but some of them were actually quite skilled, right? So but that's if you're skilled, you would always find but many didn't want to change, but William Hung they tried their own thing as well for a while, and then more often than not they just quit, because it's not if you really were party boys or underworld dreams, then it's like in World of Warcraft. This is like a business, a full-time job. And we had Jade, so she owned the original judged account and everything attached to it, and that was basically her nephew, I guess, Lazy, and he was, but before I returned, so he was one of the first that coded a relogger, I guess, and I don't know if that was more role playing or something, but at some point, Xantro McOnich returned. And that was a fully decked out character, also account even, from before there were, before there, I don't remember if before there were sets out or if, no, it was a hardy set, but just epics, no ratings. And that really, that was from 2010 or something. So with rare armor, but the rest was useless, completely useless. So you could use it for so the best gear you could use for just the looks. So there's a lot attached to that as well. But I never got this detailed of so you could even do earn quite some money as well just by collecting good looking good looking armor that fit well together, but that's something I never got into. And it was so from the looks it was but you could just use it for I don't even remember, so there was even fail dyed so that it has this strange orange color and so stuff like that. And but there was one skeleton key on that account, and then that's another meme. So we ended up, but I don't know. Like this guy was really strange, and he needed money, and so he asked me and someone that was still active from like OG to sell the same skeleton key. So we ended up selling for the same price, like the same skeleton key twice to Cars in the end. So that was just like, yeah. And he was not this original owner was not able to he was not able to adapt to the state of the game I don't know what that was, like 7 years later. So like he was not even, but that was a real problem with OGs, but it was not really someone's fault. It was just that, stuff like that. And then there was the Paragon weapons update. And for me, this was a reason to really explore and do all those quests. But like Jade had she just had this. So for her, all those plugins that were kind of allowed were cheating. So she didn't even salvage. So she didn't even steal. She did everything manually, but she was playing full time and always on. But she was retired old lady. So yeah. Well, it's just that you logged in, and then there was something going on. They have their issues, and you can fix them. So it's just I don't know. I don't think there was a better solution during those years, and I miss it. I don't miss that I did that instead of studying. So I actually, in many regards, think it was pointless. ETH was there is not there are not memories I can meditate around in the same way. But it depends a lot. So it's not the game was that much better than it has a lot to do with the community and what you make of it, right? And so if you had the same spirit, togetherness in the academic but that's just not the case. That's you cannot trust anyone there. And especially in biotechnology, it's all about, so Nobel Prizes are not interesting. It's all about patents, right? And then, well, it's I mean, this is not just role playing a thief, the competition, right? Yeah. So now, but I don't need reconstruction of that. Of those years at the moment, but I could. I accept the 2016, 2017. This is way so you need 15 months. I would guess to get over the trauma of this kind of mental hospital visit. And I think this is similar to fraud or rape cases. So if you have, and we humans would have this potential that we actually get over we can deal with trauma. That doesn't mean that it's an excuse to but if you are healthy, then you can get over that. It's not it's not a given that it destroys the then the problem was that there it started to that it was not just daydreaming, that it was full-fledged psychosis. So in 2016-17, and I quit playing Asheron's Call. So I always had access to WortWert's character, and once it was one of the first level 5 destruction iterias. So that sold for $45, and so I told him he didn't want to set up PayPal and so on. So but I helped him to set up within the tank, and I helped him to set up then a PayPal account. Well, if you just want to receive money, it's not that difficult to set one up. And so that's what I always recommend. If you wanna if you so use that and not more, right? So otherwise it just gets, and one test Trademore did. So he had 25k MMDs and gambled them away in the casino, and just took notes. Also the casino in National's Call, and just took notes of if this is plus EV. And because there is luminance gems and all those items you need to buy villas, and so at the time it was so just to gamble away. Well, you also gamble the rares, and then at the time the golden key was still very valuable, and that's basically the only way to acquire them. So that was for me a really interesting statistics. So this data set, right? So just to gamble away 25k, but that takes a while to gamble that much in the casino, and that's at some point you just know roughly the value of an item, right? And then of course it's because demand, sometimes it sells for 5 times more because someone really needs that, right? That's I don't know, for me this is it's much more interesting than the stock market. It's just but the worst part was that, so because there was no real need for both. I had them for Barf Tour, so at some point it was kind of my character as well. But when I so Strach was my second more casual attempt during those years. So that was a fully out luminance mage, but just one time at the end. So, and I remember so we went there was often a mass battle in the town network, or 180 is where you can reduce your Vitae penalty. And so like that's the worst mistake. So I like it was again a full damage bow after the legendaries came out, but nothing besides that. Just a blank full damage bow, no magic defense or something on it. And like Barthur, he just somehow managed to put that bow on the ground during PvP. So like someone picked it up and like he couldn't like tell like it's real bad. Like this is the worst mistake you can make basically. But like I never dropped items because like you can cover them with mana stones, and then at some point I even had like death items to cover for the if you would find a rare, right? And the real valuable rares, they don't drop on death. So I never and like the biggest hauls were so when so that was a child or it was an advanced role player, Christopher Stevens. But he fully trusted me as well, and he was not able to acquire those houses. But he was doing nothing else than to run around in this world and check for villas and mansions that are expiring. And again, so that's what I discussed. So when it was about Virin die Reis, so climbing the tree, I acquired the cottage next to it, and that was a huge advantage. So that was the like it's not a nice cottage or whatever, but in that valley, so you could just recall your freshly made characters and then jump up there with level. So like I think it needed an experience gem, and then at some point I could even jump up there without rares, but initially I needed for the glitch jumping rares. Yeah, so like that's where I made like $700 in 10 days, and but so Christopher Stevens, and he was not able to open that, so he had to trust in someone. So I opened the chests and I handed him everything I could entrust him, and I gave him MMD's fair price. So I don't think there was another player you could like he could have done that with, because he was just not able to do it. And everything you like, he was not even able to carry items to cover, like but for the most part those because they were too long inactive, they didn't pay the rent for the house, the villas in Asheron was like again rares or items from before the patch, right? And so then when it started, so like I kind of had in 2020 that I in that time at the mental hospital, I was this like I mixed up reality like when I was in my teens again with Asheron's Call. So I was like looking for the I don't know, like the so build my bow with like the IB, so that is used for longbows. So I and like I guess Dread OG, like if you look at those clips, that's probably similar to how that was in his childhood, right? So the early years of Asheron's Call. It's just I mean, this would go on, and I often so there's this blog, Schattenkind's Past. So I think this homepage is still up. Darktide Past by Schattenkind. So like that was and back then, so when the game came out, if it was like the first, I think that was crystal shard. So there was a boss like the WortWert like invaded the world. So there was a crystal shard boss, and then you actually had to betray, because the first kill was the reason for like months of planning, basically. So that's just how it was back then, right? And it got a lot less. So for example, you were not able to identify items, or you were not able to open a trade window initially. So before I started, the game must have been much more hardcore even then, and it's still even the emulators, like for a World of Warcraft player, this is not like they are just not able to deal with and I didn't understand why Jade, for example, played the red server, so the PvP server, but it was just because her nephew started there, and so she didn't want to go back. And then you find a way, but like that was never so and it was the most active server, the most relevant, of course, right? But like so, and then, well, in 2023, when I like when I was kind of, I was not like, but I don't know if I ever was psychotic, actually. That's just a term. But like, well, when I was doing this bad that I didn't know how to suffer through the next like hours. So now there is a reason, right? So this is more like before performance or a soccer game, you kind of have built up pressure, right? So there it was, well, with those word values, because once that was really like, I had voices in my head, and well, the word value of Einstein and Sternen and Star and Tarnung, so that I mean that I have fully noted, and so that's where that's where that really started with well, this experiment and that data set for the Versuchsreihe which led to this proof of the existence of God. But so there were a lot of attempts, kind of, well, failed. I wouldn't say failed. It's the same. I mean, 20%, probably not even 20% of the soon. So now it's more than 900 pages. Are, well, not that meaningful. You wouldn't need them. It is more often than I sometimes imagine how important it is, because if you have one note, you can like reconstruct the memories around it, right? But like you never know what you need, and you wouldn't need 20% of it for like to actually solve this elite what is about this challenge. But I mean, it's there now, and like with the book, some of it just doesn't crash down, and that's the difference to 2017. So when I had this copy of the book, it just like I didn't crash like after. So when you are burned burned through that has a lot to mean has a lot to do with dopamine. So basically, when you like achieve a goal, like climb a mountain, win a tournament or something, or an examination, you get a healthy dopamine schub. And I understand psychosis can happen when it's just too much. So before you give up, there is kind of the same reward. And then that lasts like 3 weeks maximum. And after that you are like, it's not necessarily a depression, but your body is completely exhausted, right? And then you have this, but you, like, it's a healthy, so that's the reason why they find sometimes inhuman strength to like survive, like come back from the war through the snow, or like swim for hours. So that's how that works. And well, in 2023, I didn't really get this dopamine schub, but I was still so I have this letter from like July 2023, and well, so one game I played, and I had the siesta earlier. There was again a word. So I remembered a word from my dream, and I looked up if this like is something you find. So this time, there is already a new picture. So this time the word from my dream. So like during the day when I sleep, I have very often lucid dreams that I kind of remember what it is about. And it was about Asheron's call, and so like, well, I had to calm down, especially my vassal. So when he dropped that, like it's not that bad. Like it's like $25. So roughly half the Ethereum he sold like a couple weeks before. So that's not life changing. It's just a stupid mistake, but no one has to know. It's just like yeah, well, so you destroyed more items because you had to risk it. So to apply like the damage stats on like the trinkets. Well, you had to gamble, and like it's just part of, like, it doesn't matter how. But that's the problem. If they don't understand the economy, for them they have such an attachment to like the bow, because I mean, it was a max damage bow, and I just put it on but like, yeah. So there was, I had another project. Where one party boy kind of quit. So I bought and I tried a melee account. So I bought it for like 90, so a fully maxed out character, so $90, and like I even did Paragon quests on it. So that's another problem. Those Paragon quests were not meant without. So Jade was not able to, because you cannot with quests earn that much alternate currency, and you cannot trade it. There is no way. So you have to earn it on that account, and that was just not. So that was meant probably for a couple more years, and at the time it was just not possible. So more than Paragon, like I don't remember, like level 12 of 40 was not possible for someone without. So I could just macro the Graveyard Colosseum, for example, But nah, that's not that important. So now the new game, because the servers were shut down and you don't have access to poker in the mental hospital, for example, I think that's actually for the better. So I invented my own casino. So the word was Bülowschicks. I would already have forgotten it, but it has to do that from the Exin network, so she wrote my name wrongly. So instead of Küchler, Büchler, so this Bülow, and then I always turn it into like for currently so something like Eastern Europe, so Bülow, and Schicks is like from Asterix, right? So yeah. And now the question was if it's with Bülow, V or F. So that is not resolved. But it has no meaning, that word, right? And I just wanted to point out, so it's full of those kind of like, what is, oh no, this is just, it's full of those kind of, so let's check. So for example, I didn't write Valentine. I wrote Valtị, I think Valtị9, something like that. So I could write it like this: Valtị9 looks like Valentine, but it is Valtị9, right? No, what? Where was that? So with Valtị9s Day. No, Valtị9. Ah, yeah. So now, yes. So that's another like. Well, if you don't have the context, but this is even worse than Christmas and Halloween. Valentine's Day, that's such a stupid, that's the worst, especially custom, how it is, but we all know that that's not the issue, right? So I don't need to explain that further. So, then, well, there I started, and sometimes in the mental hospital or when I was, so with Hofportier, that was 2016. But that was the time after the mental hospital visit where the psychiatrist didn't do the therapy, right? So there I was fully psychotic, and well, you just interact. So I'm much more open to just talk to someone random on the road, and that's not what I like. I'm too I don't know. Yeah, that's something I miss. So this but and it was similar in 2023 that I just and it was not all bad interactions. So some of it is like, well, I just started to talk randomly with like or I just like had the courage to in the train or sit to the girl I was interested in. So that's something I don't do, not because there is no like that doesn't really like doesn't really work like in the Lucky Look. So in the Lucky Look the volume about the Russian roulette. So there is this Tsar from like Russia visiting, and then there needs to be action in the Wild West, and so like he just drinks vodka or whatever from the shoe of the dancer girl, and that's maybe something you could try. You could like go into the tram and ask if you are allowed to drink from the shoe. So I don't think that would work, but those are the kind of ideas you have in a psychosis, right? So you mix up Lucky Look with, yeah, but it might work. It might be better than nothing for certain, right? So if you don't try, like, yeah. So like you just but that's basically so you just like in Asheron's call, like, wow, what a nice helmet, what nice shoes, I want to drink from your shoes. Nice feet, something like that, and then you start hooking up. So I wouldn't have, but it's just that's not something I would attempt if I was not psychotic, right? But so there was that I like there I started with those word values. So that's what has to be determined yet. So the estimation for I don't remember. So for this word Bülow-Schicks, I would say it should be written with V, not F. So with V around 150 is my estimation for the word value. But I looked for words, right? So that's a big part with my name and birthday. So that's a long. So I could talk, not just talk. I could think about it for hours, right? 58, 85. So Bülow-Schicks. V is 22, right? UVX is 24, so 22, so F is, so there's a difference of like 15 around, right? So 15, 100, so one is like 125 and the other is like around 100, like lowest 125 and highest like 150, more like 104. So is my guess, right? And the same I did, like for example, I cannot record, but like you see in WhatsApp, also I cannot record during this kind of recording, but like you see, I could do it in WhatsApp, but like you see the kilobyte size of a voicemail, right? So that you can estimate as well, like the length of a tunnel. Or now I'm not that familiar with the screenshot sizes, but I estimate this screenshot actually about the same as the word value in kilobytes, so around 150. So let's look up the WortWert. So I visit that often. So Bülow-Schicks. And or with F first. So F, my estimation was higher than 125 because I know sh is 30, and so like this is so 127 is actually a number I have a very big attachment. So that's the BWV 127, the third aria, the favorite of the author of my book, for example. And now with V, that's plus, what is it actually exactly? So with V, it should be 143. And my full name is 144. 143 is actually the chapter I'm working on Royal Road. So there you have those connections. And then, I mean, those are, yeah. So it has no meaning, but now it does, right? So this is not just astrology. There is, so with V, let's control that. 143, yeah. So that's, yeah. And now the screenshot size I will discover afterwards, right? So when I forward it in Discord, then that is revealed. So and yes, this helps tremendously to calm down. Not the recording. This is just an example, and because I cannot like write here, but like there is well, the reason the servers crashed was probably something like here. So like memes of post count Darktide or Darktide. So yeah, Asheron's called Darktide. So in 40 days I can share not this recording, but like I'm prepared to share my my nonsense. So, and this is like my uncle for the Fasnacht, so a Schnitzelbank. There is a lot of preparation if you take it serious, right? And so they I think. So Uznach has a kind of tradition as well, but like Basler Fasnacht especially has those Schnitzelbänke, right? So yeah. Now I could go for the size of the recording my cousin made of the concert for the Pensionierung of my father. That was 1 hour, 11 minutes and 11 seconds. But if you upload it to Google Drive, it is 12 seconds. And it's just like, I would do the same. So I would, if I had the opportunity, stop, like I would wait a couple seconds. But now I don't see a point. So I will go for 1 hour and 3 minutes.